That's where I'm optimistic. People going into office now don't care. A lot of them aren't Trump people. They are American people from business. And they're like, they're fighting all the way. That's why all the companies are getting rid of their DEI department. Oh, yeah. Because it just doesn't prioritize meritocracy. Why would you want it in your, you know what I mean? And they're also now getting sued over it because you're like, hey, that was just kind of racist. Yo, that's all they did. Yeah. They actually just taught worse people how to sue them. Sure, essentially. Nothing but sue management. Yeah. Unconscious bias. Yeah, I know. Like, okay. So we're gonna come in and watch a seminar now about how we're all racist. We don't even know it. But because as a corporation, we are conceding that everybody is invisibly racist. Sure. You can now call us racist for anything. Anything. And we owe you money. Yeah. Oh yeah. Big money. That's why they're getting rid of DEI. It's like it also allows them to downsize the law firm. Yeah. You know? That's the original Doge. Long before Elon got in there. Thanks for watching. See you. Right now, right? And I mean, it's not going to hurt.
Elemental Trail treasure map locations.
I mean, honestly, you know, kind of led the way. It's like Netflix. When Netflix decided they weren't going to can Chappelle, which was the right move, obviously, they put out that memorandum to company employees. They said, hey, it's a platform that, you know, tolerates.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my top 5 things you need to know about Red Dead Redemption 2. This is after over 100 hours of gameplay, and I really don't like doing these tutorials early in the game because there's so much to learn about this, and we're often not
take all into account. If one guy's mad, we're genocidal. Yeah,
but today I am going to offer you 5 amazing tips. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into it. The first thing we're going to discuss is Deadeye usage. Many people have been asking me in my live streams and in videos, why I use Deadeye the way I do. Now, your first instinct when you go into Deadeye is probably kill as many things on your screen as humanly possible, so you look like a gangster and you kill a lot of people with one stone. Now, in many instances, that is perfectly acceptable, but when you entry cycle in and out of Deadeye, there's 2 huge advantages. You don't use as much damage and have a prolonged fight that you're going to get in later in the game. It's going to be imperative to save Deadeye. Now, not only does it save your core, but it also automatically reloads your weapon, which is a huge advantage in massive battle.
Like, I laughed my testes off. I mean, literally every kid's just like, now you're going to show that to a kindergarten
kid? So using this method will allow you to kill Deadeye and basically make you never have to
that ideology was being enforced to our students. There's been like a little bit of a pushback in the course.
Elemental Trail map.
Is my belief. Yeah, we'll spend a minute more on delinquent child humor.
The show that's standing up to big tech. You're listening to Fox Across America.
If you're having trouble sleeping, ask your doctor about Bidenica, the sleep aid made from 100% Joe Biden press conference.
The best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to. Anyway.
Bidenica has a patented blend of confusion and forgetfulness that will calm the most overactive brains.
COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, it's taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lines. I mean, think about it.
When they sold out American jobs and killed the Keystone Pipeline, it kept me up all night worrying about how we pay our bills. But then I got Bidenica, and I've never slept better. Sometimes when I get hopped up on sugar, my parents give me Bidenica so I pass out. Other times they give it to me during the day, probably so they can do the deed. Gross.
Warning. People who have used Bidenica have experienced rampant lying and an inability to secure the southern border. Others have hallucinated and fought breakfast cereals.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Ask your doctor if Bidenica is right for you.
Folks, the last Bidenica is upon us. You know when we wrote that bit, Danny? March of 2021.
No way.
That's how people felt. I mean, they felt that way about Biden going into that election.
Right, yeah.
Which makes it also comical as we sit here now. And the media is doing this revisionist thing where they're going, Man, how did they hide it from us?
I feel like I just ate a whole turkey.
It's very Casablanca. That's funny. Very Casablanca. I am shocked to know there is gambling going on in this establishment. They hid it from, it was the greatest. And I think that'll be the legacy of the last 4 years. Country's a mess.
Yeah.
The media has been discredited on such a wide scale level.
I mean, it'll be like, we're in the fog of war right now, but
Yeah.
when you look back on it in 10 years, it'll be...
They may not recover. Like, legacy media has been eclipsed by social media.
Oh, big time.
But in ways most people don't even understand because their own viewing habits might still be the same.
Yeah.
But you're in the minority on that, is the point.
Oh, yeah.
It's moved on. That's a problem. And the actual culture war, for the first time ever, actually favors people to the slightly right of center, if only because a lot of stuff going on the left was engaged in censorship and was prioritizing things like grievance that can't be cool. Mm-hmm. It wasn't sustainable.
No.
To be performatively upset about kids. Like, there's a reason, like 4 years ago, or when Trump got elected and they were going to the State of the Union in handmaids costumes, it was still new enough, manufactured and contrived enough that somebody bought in.
Yeah.
This time around, it was hilarious.
I know.
Because they lost the room.
And we're not doing this anymore.
No, would you stop it? And that's the thing is, like, corporate America has Trump's back now in a way that they wouldn't have in the last 2 elections.
I mean, they're allowed to just say that.
Stop pretending he's Hitler.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
in a nutshell.
They're just like, he's fine.
Happiest people in my life since Trump won are liberals. Liberals who work in showbiz who no longer have to pretend they're under attack at the beginning of every pitch meeting.
Yeah.
So my buddy's a legitimate, big-time Hollywood screenwriter, and he spent 8 years going to meetings where he was like, sorry, I'm like Trump. Did you see what he did? You know what I mean? And they'd be like, oh, my God, I know. And they'd cry. And then they'd eat the nicest muffin you've ever seen. I knew, like, I wasn't making it in showbiz yet. When I went to that first meeting where you're clearly with this other echelon of Hollywood with a paper stock on the muffin.
Right.
Is jarring. I've never seen it, but what kind of rapper is this?
Sure.
And those were the people. And that's the legacy of Biden and the legacy of that never Trump movement that permeated society. It was the people least affected by what was going on in government that got the most upset by it.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's what ultimately brought us back the power, is the people on the ground were no longer abiding the pretend grievances of the wealthy.
Yeah.
Okay, because the border screws the little guy. Crime screws the little guy. Fentanyl screws the little guy.
For sure.
All of that stuff.
I mean, I'm just hoping we get comedy movies back.
They're coming.
I hope so. It's literally been like 12 years since the last big comedy movie.
It's going to be legal to hire white guys again.
It's
we're not that far.
No, but it is crazy. Like do you remember comedy movies? You would quote them and stuff, and it just doesn't exist for the last decade.
All I can say to you, Danny, is you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Trumpo clause.
Coming to
Next
town.
time I see you folks on Monday, we'll have a new president.
Fox News Audio presents the Fox Nation Investigates podcast, The Biden Files.
A person's final story can be told through their bodies in an autopsy.
World-renowned forensic pathologist Dr. Michael Baden covers 3 incredible cases where he helped change the course of the investigation.
Sometimes it takes more than one look to put the pieces together.
Listen and follow at foxtruecrime.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Listen to the show ad-free on Fox News Podcast Plus, on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music with your Prime membership, or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
The NFL playoffs are better with bets if you win. That's $300 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. 21 plus in present and select states. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Bored with your boring cardio? Stop pedaling that snooze cycle to Nowheresville and try some cardio that's actually fun. Supernatural Fitness, available on MetaQuest. Isn't that right, Jane Fonda?
Cardio will never be boring again.
Sweat to the beat of thousands of chart-topping songs inside stunning virtual landscapes.
Bet your stationary bike can't do that.
Visit GetSupernatural.com and join the next fitness revolution. Supernatural VR Fitness, only on MetaQuest. Rated for teens. Live from everywhere USA, it's Fox Across America with Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, girl, here we go, coming to you live from the greatest country in the world, broadcasting from the tippy top of the world-famous Fox News headquarters in New York City. It is Fox Across America with Jimmy Fallon, a man who did not give a farewell address to the nation last night. No, ma'am, Joe Biden did.
I don't remember that ever happening.
Oh, no, he might have forgot it by now. But we're going to roll the clips and relive the hits, the highs, the lows, as we always do on the program. Got a couple of fan favorites coming by. Erica Donalds is on the show today. She is, of course, married to the great Byron Donalds, a proud patriot, a fierce family woman. She's got great boys that they've raised in that family, and she's a damn good friend of the show. We're going to be doing this in person for the first time ever because apparently the people who manage her career thought it was a good idea to put her on this show.
Are you stupid or something?
That's exactly what I'm going to ask her. I don't know what. I don't know the answer. But we'll get into that. Jerry Willis is stopping by as well, a Fox Business contributor, talk about the economy, the Trump transition. There's a lot to do, but the rules remain the same no matter how crowded our dance card happens to be. You are all welcome on the program.
I don't care where you come from. I don't care what color you are. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care how dumb you are.
No, ma'am. It's not like one of those shows where you got to agree with the host. Okay, say whatever the heck you want. Okay, it's America. It's the whole beauty of being here is you have First Amendment rights again. So behave. Call in. Tell me anything you want. Agree, disagree. Be a Republican. Be a Democrat. Just don't be a... Happy Thursday, everybody. One quick note I would throw out there. We don't do a lot of dedications. This isn't the Casey Kasem show. But a round of applause, a tip of the cap to the late, great Bob Uecker, who has just headed off to that big broadcast booth in the sky at the age of 90. Bob Uecker. I mean, an icon in my house. The Miller Lite, commercials. He missed the tag when he's sitting in the upper deck. Of course, Major League, his analysis of Ricky Vaughn, the Wild Thing.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
I mean, one of the most iconic sports films of all time. And I grew up loving Bob Uecker. Wasn't a big Milwaukee presence in the world of baseball. He was always a really big deal to me. And anybody who knows Bob Uecker knows he was a guy who did things right. So, again, one more quick round. Of course, Bob Uecker is not the only dead person making headlines today. Joe Biden in the news after a speech he gave last night in the Oval Office. Some people actually say the windows were blacked out in the office because the speech was taped earlier because they didn't want him kind of wandered astray.
Biden's lost his marbles.
A lot of people feel that way. I don't actually know if that's the truth of the Biden address. I don't know if it was live. I don't know if it was previously recorded. Okay, I know we were told it was live by his handlers.
It's nothing more than white noise coming from the White House.
Well, we don't know that it was in this particular instance, but yes, there has been so much white noise from this White House, we wouldn't know who to believe. But the only person I can tell you for sure was operating in an altered capacity last night was the person who wrote the script.
Bingo.
It was so detached from reality. And it was, he's been doing this for like a week now, and I've been making fun of him on the show. It was an effort to kind of retrofit this presidency as something that was a lot more successful than any of us happened to realize.
Some crazy someplace else. We're all stocked up here.
And that was the message that they received in the 2024 election. Okay, Joe Biden's policies, Joe Biden's platform was wildly rejected. Not only was he thrown off the ticket, but But Kamala Harris, who got on the ticket and said that everything Biden did was good, she lost too. Remember Kamala on the economy?
And we are very proud of Bidenomics. And as today's jobs numbers make clear, Bidenomics is working. Bidenomics is working. Trump's economic plans going forward would raise inflation and send us into a recession by 2025.
And that position, that Bidenomics was working, cost her all 7 swing states, the popular vote, and something no one talks about. But this election was the first time since 1964 that all racial groups voted in the same numbers, meaning everybody had the same opinion in this election, no matter how much they've tried to divide us along racial lines in the era of identity politics. Blacks, whites, Asians, Latinos, okay, Muslims, anybody, okay, for the first time since 1964, this election outcome had the highest level of racial harmony when it came to the public opinion of Donald Trump and Kamala Harris.
Kamala is so stupid.
So you understand, Biden is leaving office with 80% of the country convinced we're headed in the wrong direction. Polling shows that 61% of Americans view his presidency as an abject failure. Come on, man. So there he is last night in the Oval Office. Regardless of when it was recorded, he is dumping the Gatorade on himself after coaching his team to defeat.
That was embarrassing.
Was it ever? And I'm just going to give you a few itemized takes. Let's start here with Biden warning us about the oligarchy taking shape, and the threat to the democracy, and blah, 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 clip 1.
That's why my farewell address tonight, I want to warn the country of some things that give me great concern. This is a dangerous concentration, and that's a dangerous concentration of power in the hands of a very few ultra-wealthy people. The dangerous consequences if their abuse of power is left unchecked. Today, an oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that literally threatens our entire democracy, our basic rights and freedoms, and a fair